Hi everyone, Ash here from the Little Apiary Company. Welcome back to the channel. First video of 2026. I'm running a bit late. This should have been done just before Christmas, but all of the bits and pieces with the honey house has taken over. Finally out with the bees, first time in the year, first time with the suit back on, and it's trickle treat time. So I'm going out and doing the oxalic treatment for all of my hives. See how many are running, see if anything needs any more food, if I've got to buy any fondant in to top anything up, and go through there. So I'm starting here at Stratford. I'll show you what we're using, how we go through the process and everything. I have got a new camera, so bear with me because some of the settings might not be quite right yet. So this is start of the year, first of the 2026 videos, and I'll put all these in a playlist and you can follow me through all the way to the end of the year and see how hopefully this year is better than last year. So this is what I'm using this time round. It's a product called Oxy. I bought it from Thorns. I can't remember. I'll put up sort of there that how much it costs per bottle. One bottle does 30 hives according to this, and it comes in a bottle of oxalic acid, just like that, and you get 2 sachets. And we've got to cut these sachets, put them in a bottle, mix it up, and from there we'll transfer it to these little dosing bottles, either trickle 2 bottles that I get from Thorns. You fill up the main reservoir, give it a squeeze, and it puts the dose which you need per seam of bees, squirts it up into there, and then you literally just pour it on. So I'll show you that when we're working through with the hives and opened up, but it's a pretty simple process. Heft the bees, find the seams, pour the syrup on each one to close them up and walk away. Okay, so the first hive opening of 2026. I can see bees on the front, so that's a good sign potentially. See what we've got. Would help if I picked up my hive tool, wouldn't it? Let's give them a heft. Well, there's still weight in there. Forgotten about that. That'll be a pain. So, how much weight is there? There's not as much weight. Not as much weight without what they've got there in the roof. That's a dead out. To me, yeah. This hive's failed. No bees in there, so whatever's coming in and out of here have just been robbing out. That's a shame. That was a good colony, the only one that actually produced any honey last year. So I'll put that on the stack to process, and we'll move on to the next one. Alright, first of the nukes. What we got? We've got bees at the top, but it looks like they're mostly clustered down the bottom. So we'll have to break this one open. You're not going to like this one bit. You can already hear them. And there is a lot of weight in that box. And there we go, a nice nuke of bees. What I've got there, the top box is really heavy, plenty of stores left in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seams. So let's use this little pot. So we just basically, you squeeze it and it fills up the exact dose in that little chamber there, and just each seam gets a trickle. Simple as that. And what this mixture's got in it, so it's oxalic acid, which is the active ingredient that kills off any varroa, but it also has sugar, the powder with sugar, and sugar is what coats the bees and keeps the ingredient actually in there. So heavy. The only thing they say, you've got to do it in a broodless period, but I'm not sure whether we've actually had a broodless period this year, because winter hasn't exactly. We've had a little bit of a cold snap for a couple of weeks, but it's not exactly been minus temperatures all the way along. Because the reason you want to do it when they're broodless is because that means all the mites are on the bees, plus this stuff might kill off a bit of uncapped brood. But it is what it is. We treated them before we went into winter, give them a midwinter. That hopefully should be enough to knock any mites down before we start next year. Alright, do the next one. We've got bees coming in and out here. Cool. You can really hear those girls. I don't know if the mic can pick it up, but again, I think they're all down the bottom. Oh. So much weight in this top. They really took that feed down. Oh, there you go. So let's just drop those down. Now, one thing they do say is this stuff, try not to get on in metal hide parts because it will cause corrosion. But there's no metal parts in this hive. This is a poly hive, so shouldn't be a problem. And it's simple as that. Get this back on. I really do like these poly hives, doing them as double nukes. They really seem to overwinter well in this configuration. And yeah, it just coming out of spring, they're ready just to drop all the frames straight into a brood box, and they're just ready to go. So that is how I really like to work my nukes through the winter. I guess I'll do that one over there. That was a bit of a mess because they chewed through the feeder, but we'll see how they are. I've got bees coming out the front, always a good sign, but I know under this bit it's a bit of a mess. You see, I lost the perspex sheet for this feeder, so I chucked this cardboard over. They just chewed through. How are they feeling? Oh yeah, there's loads of weight in there. Question is, are there a lot of bees in here? Yeah, and that's not too sad, is it? So loads of weight. There's bees in there. That will, as long as they're still queen white, the queen hasn't failed over winter. That should be another good colony to start the year here at Stratford. I'm really hoping this apiary is going to show us what it can actually do this year, because obviously the drought last year, we got 1 box of honey, but we were starting completely from scratch. So we're going to go into this season colonies that are treated, pulled up. You know, we've got a failure there. There might be another couple of failures over there, but we'll have colonies that are starting from scratch here, and we can get going. And I think, you know, if we get a good summer, it doesn't have to be an amazing summer, just has to be an ordinary summer without a massive drought, we'll actually see what this apiary can do, and that will then tell me whether I want to reduce the number of hives here or whether we're okay with the numbers that we got, and we can play it by ear. It's a bit hard to tell from last year because, as I said, started from scratch and there was just no flow during the summer at all. Right, let's try the next ones. Right, so this one here, this doesn't look good. Henk and I believe this is another dead out because it's very quiet. And these are ones that just weren't taking food. Yeah, nothing in there. I mean, there's a bit of stores. I'm wondering whether this is just a queen failure, because it's good comb. There was a queen here at some point. You see all that pollen. There's a honey arch, and I just wonder whether she just was badly mated. You see there, we had brood, but it just never took off. So that one will go in the stores to be scorched out. Right, let's have a look at this one. I have seen activities here. Oh, look here, I've got bees coming up to meet me. Let's have a quick heft. Yeah, I mean, there's weight there. Whether that's enough to get them through, I don't know. But what I have got in the store is this. I've got some supers that I extracted that were full of set honey, and I never got round to, well, I don't have the equipment yet to do whole frames, and if there's enough bees in here to make it viable, I might chuck one of those supers on just to give them a little bit extra. So there's not a lot there, is there? We've got bees on one, but I'd say really it's a half. That's a full seam. That's a full seam. That's a full seam. So 1, 2, 3. Maybe in total 4 seams. That's not a great hive. And with that amount of stores and that amount of bees left, I'm okay with that just sitting as it is. It's been treated. If it's got a queen, may make it, may not. I mean, there's nothing I can do now. So you can't go through hives and start pinching about and stuff. There's no point. These guys now, they'll make it or they won't. And we'll deal with it when we come to spring. They're flying, so you know there's activity, there's stores, they've been treated. We'll see how it goes. This could be another failed colony. If you remember a few videos back, this was the one that they swarmed and were all underneath. I ended up splitting them. I did see eggs. I'm pretty sure I saw eggs in both, but again, depending on whether this was the virgin and this was the mated queen, she might not have got mated well. It was a bit late in the year. This is not looking particularly great. And nope, there's the Mary Celeste in there. There are no bees. So let's see if we can get something out. They had it jammed in there. They weren't short stores, so I don't think they've starved. I mean, that is full. Thank you. Full. It's pollen, stores. Next frame's the same. So I've got to get these in and sealed up because bees will start robbing these out soon. But they didn't starve, so I think that's a bad queen, badly mated queen. It was late in the year, so I think that's where it is, and we'll recycle those frames through. Next up, my homemade little nuke. These girls took the syrup down really well. See how they've overwintered in this. I mean, it's not as well insulated obviously as those Maysmore poly nukes, but hopefully they're oh, they really glued that down. There's a bee, a couple of bees in this top box. I think they're all in the bottom. They're not as noisy though as that. And that's one of the good things about those poly nukes. They keep everything warmer, so the cluster doesn't have to be so tight, so they can move around, they can find food better. They are better nukes, and poly hives are definitely better for that sort of thing. But they're also pretty expensive. If you need a lot of them, well, you can't really make them yourself. So, well, they're there. There's one scene. They're all clustered here at the front. So, again, it's not the biggest colony. It's not like those poly nukes we've just seen, but there is so much stores in there. There's no chance of those girls starving. Put that back on, and we'll see what they do. Oh, put the roof on. Again, double story. If she does start laying and they start growing away well, we'll go straight into a brood box in the same site, and there you go. You've got a full colony with drawn comb, and probably too much stores. I'd have to swap some of that out because she won't have enough room to lay. So what was the total? So we've got 1, 2, 3 dead. So we've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colonies running. It's yeah, it's not a great percentage, but these were all new scrappy colonies that we started off with. This year is going to be a big requeening project, which I'll go into in my next video, because I'm going to try a new system that we've got, or that I've sort of worked on and pinched a lot from the Ukrainian beekeeper who Griff did a video on, and I want to see if I can adapt the way I do things with the way that he does things, and create a system where I don't have to go looking for queens or anything else, and make things a lot simpler. So I'll sit down with you and go through what my plans are and how I'm going to, well, how I think I'm going to manage the hives. But obviously one of the problems will be that the bees haven't read the plan, so whatever they decide to do may change the plan, but I have a plan. That's all I can say. So we're done here. Well, we've got a few of Hank's hives to sort out, and then we'll shoot over to Wanstead and we'll see how things are going there. Right, I thought I would record this bit because this is a monumental screw up by me, and I knew when I was doing this I was running the risk. But so you can see here, this is the hive I just opened up. It's not looking bad. Nice load of bees. The problem is that's what they've done to the space that the varroa trays were in. So I've given too much space above here because I didn't get round over the summer to making enough eeks, and so that is all wild comb built up into my crown board. So I've treated, I put the bucket on top, they've turned the bucket into wax and filled that, and there's got to be a good 10-15 pound of stores in there, maybe more, plus actually not a lot down there. So at least they've got space down there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to treat, I'm going to put it back because that's where they've put their stores, and I'm going to have to deal with this in the spring. Hopefully she won't get in there and lay it, and I can just carve all of that out. But yeah, the bucket system is great, but I need to use strips and not trays next year, I think, for when I'm looking at my next treatment. Okay, so we're done here on my half of the apiary anyway. Lost 3 from this out of 8. It's probably the worst I've actually ever done here. I've lost the odd one, but it's the first time I lost 3, so I need to have a think on whether the change or the move to the buckets and everything else has caused more problems, or whether it's just a one-off situation. I mean, so this one that was over here, there's a remnants of it, but had a mouse nest or a rat's nest underneath it. So I hadn't gone through the mouse guard we put on, chewed underneath and made a nest underneath the hive. So possibly that's what killed that hive off, because that was a real strong hive. These 2 over here gone. Had loads of stores, plenty of pollen, just potentially just failed queens from there. But this one's a little bit weak, not a huge amount of bees in there, so it's let's see, this not a lot of activity and girls coming up, but they'll be. So I've treated them, they've got plenty of stores. We'll see if they make it through, and we may come out with 4, and I'll have to split and replace all these colonies. So that may actually change the plans that I had when I was talking about earlier on in the video. And like I said, bees don't read the plans, so already they're making me have to think on what I'm going to do next. So anyway, done here. Now heading off up to the forest. So day 2, it's raining, it's cold. I've just been up and finished off here at the forest apiary. Lost another 1, 2, 3, 4 colonies, 5 colonies from up here. So my losses this year are far higher than I've ever had. So I've got to have a think on why that is. But still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colonies, 7 colonies to start the year. So we'll see how they're going. Again, I lost 1 through the mouse damage. As you can see there, sort of damage that the little critters do. They chew through, make a nest, and then the urea and everything else, the waste, just basically kills the hive off. It's a death sentence as soon as one gets in. So that's very frustrating. Also lost a good nuke. But it is what it is. We'll start again this year and move on to the next season. So that's it. First video of 2026. Start of the season. If some see it like that, some see this is halfway through. All the colonies I've got left got loads of weight. I don't need to get any fondant on or anything else, so they're good to go. So next time I'll look in those will be springtime, looking end of April really, depending on the weather. I've got loads of work down at Stratford in terms of building boxes, frames, and cleaning out old boxes and stuff, so I'll get footage of all of that and show you what I'm doing in the sort of preparation point. I am quite behind because I've been doing a lot of weekends on the honey house, so I'll be keeping footage on that, keeping that series going to completion. So just if you're liking that content, the honey house, or you want to see more bees, please hit the subscribe button, and if you like what we've done here, give the video a like, drop a comment below if you've got any ideas of what you'd like to see. So yeah, until the next video, thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.